back to another one chart lesson. Cry and Shame by Diesel, a la Johnny Diesel, aka Mark Lizotte. Used to be, once upon a time, the guitarist for Jimmy Barnes. If you're Australian, that probably means something to you, but he is probably one of Australia's best guitarists, I would, say, in my opinion. There's guys like him, Ian look, there's hundreds of them. I'm not even going to get started on naming great guitarists, but Diesel is certainly one of them. Now, this song, when you download your chart, it's going to look a little bit complex. It needn't be. I've tried to be as accurate as I can with all the little things that he does in this song, but once you get the essence of this riff that you just heard me playing, you've pretty much got the song. So I'm going to take you through that. The chart will be your best guide, but once you get the feel of this riff, you don't need to follow this exactly note for note. C sharp minor is our key and our chord that they're working off mostly, or another way of putting it is E major, which is the relative major of C sharp minor. So either way, you're in that key. But I'm going to say C sharp minor because that's where we start. So you play this chord to start with, but you're playing only the D, G, and B strings, and you start with your first finger just covering the 4th fret, and then you hammer on the rest of those notes with these 3 fingers, so you're on to 6, 6, and 5 on the D, G, and B strings. So you can start with that first finger over the A string as well, which gives you that root note for C sharp. And you hammer on those 3 fingers. And basically you strum it, very quickly tap those notes on, and then pull them off again. And when you pull them off again, you actually don't pull them off, you strum it again. So it's hammer on, strum them off again. And you cut that short, like that. Then you drop down to the 2nd fret A string and slide back up to the 4th fret where you're on the C sharp again. So it sounds like this. And then when you land on that C sharp again, play that note, then follow with a chop through the C sharp minor chord again. Play that one more time. Now, once you hit that, do that hammer on again, and then come down to the E major. Now, like I said, on your chart, that looks like a lot of things happening there, but if you play through that very slowly, and that E starts just at the end of one bar and carries over through to the next bar. Then you do another percussive hit and do it again. This time on your tab, I've sort of missed out that G string, but it doesn't matter if you do it with the G string as well. So you're doing you're working off a C sharp minor 7 or a C sharp minor, depending on whether you hammer that G string onto the 6th fret. Does that little variation there, so instead of going, he goes, and that time you do pull it off without strumming the 2nd bit. Then there's 2 percussive bits there, and then 2 quavers. The percussive bits are semi-quavers and these ones are quavers, so it's like that. If you get the feel of that, it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, a lot of these percussive stuff, you don't really need to try too hard at. What's important is that you keep the rhythm going. Those percussive things will often take care of themselves, so don't sweat them too much. Try and get the rhythm flowing and the riffs and the notes in the right spot. And it'll sound good. The 3rd time we hit that C sharp minor, what we do, you reach your pinky over to the 7th fret of the E string, and play that, so that is a C sharp minor 7 now, and go back down to the E. Alright? And the rhythm there is ever so slightly different. Check it out on the tab, you'll see it. Then when you get to the bridge, so it's up to the 4th fret, E string, then you do a little A power chord, cut it short, land on the B. That little bit there is 4th fret, A string, hammered onto 6, then you catch D and G strings on the 4th fret, and you hammer on the D string, leave the 4th fret G string where it is, but hammer on the D string up to 6. And like I said, you could do that every single time, you can vary it a little bit, as long as you get the feel of that groove going. And he does little things like that. Instead of going every time, he might go, or just little tiny variations there. If we tried to be exact, I'm going to use that word. If we tried to be 100% exact, we would spend hours and hours and hours trying to get this down and still might not get it exactly right. But if you get the feel of that riff right, I'm going to say it one more time and then I'll stop saying it. Get the feel of the riff right, it's going to sound like the song and it's going to sound good. Lastly we go, don't you know it's a cry and shame. And we go to the F sharp minor. A sus2, which is an A major chord with the open B string included. And then back to the E, but we start with the E sus4, so the pinky is on the G string 2nd fret, and then we lift it off to a normal E major. The first time round, we just hang on to that E through the next bar and you start the riff again, because you're going back to the start of the verse again. Then you're back up to the top. Go through that the same way. There's probably some very, very tiny variations in the riff that he does, but you know, for the sake of only having a 2-page chart instead of a 10-page chart, you can play it the same way. It's tabbed the same way. The second time we go through that chorus again, you're coming into the E, holding it through that bar, but this time you go on and off with that E sus4. Really nice bridge, which is 7th fret A string and the 2 open top strings, so A, E, B strings. So it goes cry, down to 6, cry, down to 4, cry, shame. And if you've got a whammy bar on your guitar, you can give that a little very slight shake there, it sounds very nice. And you do it again. When you get down to the C sharp the second time through that run, you're back into that riff. So it's, and that's where we move into the solo. So it's a little bit of odd timing there. It's almost like he skips out a half a bar and jumps into that riff again to carry us through the chorus, through the solo. And it's a sax solo, so you know, do what you want there, but it goes over the C sharp minor and E riff. Through the chorus, this is still the solo, but it's the chorus chords now. time through that E, the same as the second time through the verse when we did the extended E a little bit. Then at the end of that solo, we go into the bridge again. Cry, 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 that's the last verse. We head into that. We do that the same way. And doing another chorus after that. The format of the song is pretty straightforward, except for that little kind of blip as you're heading into the solo. The important thing is to get those riffs sounding really nice and greasy and bluesy, and get a little bit of distortion on your guitar, but not too much. Sounds really nice with a single coil pickup and a little bit of distortion, or a little bit of overdrive, I should say, not distortion. And keep the guitar sound relatively clean, but just with a little bit of breaking up on it. And if you want to hear a really nice guitar tone, listen to pretty much anything that Diesel has done, will do. He always gets a really, really nice guitar tone as well. So that's it. That's pretty much it. And as we head out of that last chorus, got yourself to be, got yourself to be, just goes from the A to the E, and using that sus4 or rad4, lifting it back off to the E major again, back and forth from the E to the A. You go through that little 4-bar pattern a total of 6 times, and then you finish on the E. And he does a nice little groovy riff at the end there. That's the end of the song. Thank you for watching Cry and Shame. It's a great song by Diesel, and I hope you are able to get inside that riff and make it sound as good as it feels to play. And if you have any problems, let me know and I'll try and help you out. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.